The Speaking Statements, the podcast of statements about the 50 U.S. states. Like this video, subscribe to the channel, and click the bell for alerts for when a new episode is released.
Hello, listeners. Welcome to the second episode of season 7 for the Speaking Statements. I want to introduce Lynn Wynn, who was born and raised in Oklahoma. She now lives in New York City. Hi, Lynn.
Hello, Julian. Lovely to meet you.
I have some questions about Oklahoma that I'm hoping you can answer.
I will do my very best. And thank you for having me on your podcast. I'm so excited.
Thanks. My first question is, what do you like about Oklahoma and why?
It's a wonderful beginning question. I think my favorite thing that I like and love about my home state is I think that some of the friendliest people live in Oklahoma and are from there. It was a very neighborly place to grow up. The neighbors that I grew up with are still there, and they still help my family, my parents who are there, and my brother who are still there. And there's a very lovely sense of community growing up in Oklahoma. Even here in New York City, I just met some people from Oklahoma, and we had a lot of very similar memories and fond memories of Oklahoma. So I think the people are the best part.
That's a good answer. I think some people, like up where I live in Illinois, are also one of the friendliest people in the country.
Probably.
My second question is, what kinds of foods are popular in Oklahoma?
Ooh, I love this question. I love food and a few things. I think there are three types of foods that I'll talk about. One is probably the most obvious. Oklahoma is kind of part of the South. And so they do have barbecue there. So a lot of people do love barbecue. It's kind of a mix of maybe Texas barbecue and some other types of Southern barbecue.
Can I ask the following question?
Yes, you may.
I've seen sometimes pictures of s'mores or campfires.
Ooh, I don't know if that's specific to Oklahoma. I do love a good s'more. I This is getting a little bit ahead, but I do believe that the first, I know a Girl Scout cookie was sold in Oklahoma. So maybe there's something about like cookies and s'mores and, sweets perhaps that we do enjoy in Oklahoma as well. And we do love the outdoors.
That's a great answer. My third question is, are there any slightly odd facts in Oklahoma? But there's one thing I know about. I do know that the shopping cart was invented in Oklahoma, and I bet most people don't know that.
You are correct. Actually, if you're from Oklahoma, that is a fact that we are very proud of. And so, yes, it was invented in Ardmore, Oklahoma. I do remember that from when I was growing up and learning about our state. But yes, people outside of Oklahoma probably won't know that. You stole one of my facts, but good thing that I have some other ones to prepare for you. So I did mention the Girl Scout cookies. So that the first Girl Scout cookie was sold in Oklahoma in 1917 by a troop in Muskogee. My two other facts for you is that I don't know if you're a big architecture fan or building fan, but Frank Lloyd Wright, who's a very famous American architect, his only skyscraper that he helped design is in Bartlesville, Oklahoma, and it's called the Price Tower. It's 19 stories, and it's supposed to resemble a tree in a way, and like how it was built. So that's kind of random to have such a famous building there. And then finally, the capital of Oklahoma, Oklahoma City, is the only capital, definitely in the United States, maybe the world, that is on top of an oil field. An oil well, too, is underneath it.
That's a great answer. I did not know about the oil. When I heard you talk about Oklahoma City, I thought you were going to talk about how it's a state and then the word city.
I thought about that too. It seemed a little too obvious, so I'm glad I could surprise you with the oil fields.
My fourth question is, can you tell me about the weather in Oklahoma? This is one of
Ooh,
my unusual questions.
yeah, no, I think weather is definitely something that can be quite unique to Oklahoma. To start with, growing up there, I felt like the weather there, you could have weather any time, like spring could be in fall, winter could be in summer. Weather's all over the place. Maybe it's because we live in the center of the United States. But more importantly, what people tend to know our state for is that it's in the center or the eye really of Tornado Alley, which is a region in the United States where there are a lot of tornadoes that happen in a certain part of the year. We think it's because there's warm air from kind of the Gulf Coast that comes up, and then you have the Rocky Mountains that have cold air that come down. They meet near, Oklahoma, and then a lot of tornadoes happen that way. So we both have May birthdays, right? So unfortunately, that's prime tornado time. So there's a lot of tornadoes that happen in Oklahoma in May, but even really from April until June.
Whoa, yeah, I thought you might talk about the tornadoes. That's pretty cool. I know a book about a tornado in Oklahoma. My fifth
Ooh.
question is, what activities are popular in Oklahoma?
Ooh, another good question. So, probably one of the biggest activities that people enjoy if you live there or visit there is there's a college football rivalry between the Oklahoma Sooners, which is my home team. I went to college there at the University of Oklahoma, and their rivals are the Oklahoma State University Cowboys, which are, again, our rival state. So every year they come together and to do the Bedlam rivalry football game in October. And a lot of people love going to that. It's red versus orange. And then, one wins and then the other is so sad about it. But other than that, I think the biggest thing too is I may have mentioned outdoor activities. We have the most man-made lakes in the United States. And so a lot of people love to go to the lakes. They go fishing, they go tubing, they go lake surfing. I think that's another big one when the weather is nice.
Which game won this year?
So there is no longer going to be Bedlam football games because of there's been a change in basically the types of tournaments that these two teams will be in. They're not in the same tournament anymore. So that's sad. But anyways, whenever I lived there, that's what people used to do all the time.
I hope Oklahoma gets some more wins. Well, let's get to the sixth question.
Yeah.
And last. It
Mhm.
is, if someone new came to Oklahoma, what would you recommend?
Ooh, I love this question. Making uh, vacation plans for people and itineraries is my love language, so I could make recommendations all day. But we'll start with food. If you love food, then I think some of the best Vietnamese food is in Oklahoma. And this is coming from someone who now lives in New York City, where there's all kinds of food here. But I'm Vietnamese and my family is Vietnamese. And there's actually a very vibrant and close-knit Vietnamese community there in Oklahoma City, of all places. And the food of my ancestors is there, which can include pho, if you've ever had that. It's a delicious soup, and banh mi, which is this very special kind of sandwich in a French baguette. So I would tell people to go to the Asian district in downtown Oklahoma City and get some Vietnamese food there. If you like sports, then you can go watch an Oklahoma City Thunder game. I don't know if you watch basketball, but that's our state team. And if you get tickets at the very top of the stadium, it's called Loud City. And they call it Loud City because some of the most passionate fans are up there, and they're always yelling and screaming and giving energy to the team. And then finally, if you like the outdoors, you should go to the Wichita Mountain Wildlife Refuge. That's in southeastern Oklahoma, and you can see wild prairie dogs, wild hogs, and bison roaming around. So that's probably what I would tell people to go do.
That's a great answer. It's a pleasure to have you here. We're really
Thanks.
glad you're here for Oklahoma.
Yeah, thanks, Julian. I appreciate the invite, and it was a pleasure meeting you and spending some time with you. I hope if your listeners have any questions about Oklahoma, they can always ask me.
Bye.
Bye.
And now we'll do my Oklahoma facts. The nickname is the Sooner State. I don't know why. It became a state in 1907. It was the 46th state, surprisingly. The capital and the largest city is Oklahoma City. The second largest city is Tulsa, if you've ever been there. The abbreviation is OK. And Tulsa used to be the oil capital of the world. Surprise. It borders 6 states: Kansas to the north, Colorado to the northwest, Texas to the south, Arkansas to the southeast, Missouri to the northeast, and New Mexico to the southwest. Mammals in Oklahoma include pronghorn antelopes, American bison, armadillos, and coyotes. Birds in Oklahoma include greater roadrunners, red-headed woodpeckers, and scissor-tailed flycatchers. Amphibians include gray tree frogs and the woodhouse toads. Reptiles include copperhead snakes, snapping turtles, and American alligators. Carrie Underwood, a famous singer, was born in Oklahoma. Oklahoma's mountain ranges include the Ouachita, the Arbuckle, the Wichita, and the Kiamichi. Oklahoma has 1 million surface acres of water because it has the largest number of man-made lakes in the United States of America. And now to the Fast Facts, Leo. Give it a go, Leo. It's all yours.
What is the state sea?
It's the redbud.
What is the state flower?
That would be the Oklahoma rose.
What is the state bird?
It's the scissor-tailed flycatcher.
What is the state animal?
It's the buffalo or bison.
What is the state floral emblem?
The state floral emblem is the mistletoe.
What is the state fish?
It's the white bass.
What is the state beverage?
Milk, as usual.
What is the state butterfly?
It's the black swallowtail butterfly.
What is the state color?
There's actually two colors, which are green and white.
What is the state fruit?
The fruit is the strawberry.
What is the state game bird?
The game bird is the turkey.
What is the state game animal?
That would be the white-tailed deer.
What is the state reptile?
It's the collared lizard.
What is the state amphibian?
It's the bullfrog. We're done, Leah.
Bye.
Thank you.
Thank you, Jay, and bye.
And last but not least, we have the Oklahoma quarter, which is a picture of a scissor-tailed flycatcher, which is the state bird of Oklahoma, flying over a bunch of sunflowers. That's all for today. But check in next week for a middle episode of Season 7. Bye!
Thank you for listening to the Speaking Statements.